Have you ever stared at your bank account at the end of the month, blinked twice, and wondered if someone stole your identity? You know you made money, but somehow the balance is hovering just above the price of a combo meal. If so, you aren't alone. Nearly 70% of adults live paycheck to paycheck, and a shocking number of them are high earners. To understand why, you don't need to look at complex stock market charts. You just need to look at three friends, Dave, Sarah, and Greg, and their catastrophically doomed taco truck, Guac and Roll. Through the greasy, salsa-stained window of their food truck, you could witness the three most common financial traps of the modern age playing out in real time. Dave was the CEO. At his day job, Dave made a fantastic salary, but he suffered from acute lifestyle creep. He believed that to be successful, you had to look successful. Before they had even sold a single taco, Dave blew half their startup capital wrapping the truck in custom matte black vinyl and installing a nightclub-quality surround sound system. If anyone questioned it, Dave would adjust his designer sunglasses and say, "You have to spend money to make money, bro. It's branding." Then there was Sarah, the vibe manager. Sarah was a victim of the buy now, pay later death spiral. She had furnished the entire inside of the truck with commercial-grade stainless steel appliances bought entirely on credit cards. She even financed a Bluetooth-enabled smart avocado masher. How did a startup afford this? They didn't. Sarah just whispered her favorite magic words. It's only $45 a month. She was paying minimum balances across 5 different cards, happily ignoring the 24.99% APR that was quietly bleeding them dry. Finally, in the back of the truck was Greg. Greg was the inventory guy, and he was pathologically, toxically cheap. In a misguided attempt to offset Dave and Sarah's spending, Greg decided to cut overhead. He refused to buy actual paper towels, instead cutting up his old gym t-shirts. Worse, he bought all their ground beef from a guy named Discount Dan out of the trunk of a sedan because it was 80% off. Unsurprisingly, their grand opening was a nightmare. The truck looked like $1 billion, the music was deafening, the kitchen was high-tech, and the very first customer took one bite of Greg's discounted meat, turned green, and threatened a lawsuit. As the three friends sat on the curb, staring at their shiny, bankrupt food truck, Sarah's Aunt Brenda pulled up. Brenda was a no-nonsense, retired CPA who smelled of peppermints and tax audits. She took one look at their ledger, sighed, and delivered a financial intervention that every modern adult needs to hear. Brenda tapped her calculator, diagnosing the trio's failure, and outlining the 3 financial rules they had completely ignored. 1. Earning more does not equal wealth. The Dave trap. Dave, Brenda said, pointing at his designer shoes. A high income only makes you rich if you actually keep some of it. The reality check. You cannot out-earn dumb spending. If you make $100,000 a year, but spend $105,000 trying to look like a millionaire on Instagram, you are poorer than someone making $50,000 who saves $5,000. The fix. Automate your savings. Before you pay for the matte black truck wrap or the designer clothes, pay yourself first. Send 20% of your paycheck straight to a savings or investment account before you even see it. 2. The minimum payment illusion, the Sarah trap. Brenda then glared at the Bluetooth avocado masher. Sarah, consumer debt is a financial emergency. A minimum payment is just the bank's way of keeping you poor forever. The reality check. When you buy things on high-interest credit and only pay the minimums, compound interest works against you. That cheap monthly payment means a $500 appliance will eventually cost you $1,200. The fix. If you can't pay cash for it, excluding a house or a reasonable car, you can't afford it. Treat credit cards like debit cards. Pay the balance in full, every single month, or don't swipe at all. 3. Penny wise, pound foolish, the Greg trap. Finally, Brenda turned to Greg, who was washing a paper plate to reuse it. Greg, there is a massive difference between being frugal and being cheap. The reality check: being cheap costs you money in the long run. Buying questionable meat saved you $50 today, but it ruined a $30,000 business. The fix: frugality is about maximizing value, not just minimizing cost. Spend money on high-quality things that matter, like good ingredients or comfortable work shoes, and ruthlessly cut spending on things that don't. The bottom line: as Aunt Brenda drove away, leaving them to deal with a mountain of debt and a trunk full of terrible beef, the real lesson hung in the air. True wealth isn't loud. It isn't a custom-wrapped truck, flashing the latest gadgets, or bragging about a high salary. Wealth is the money you don't see. It's the fully funded emergency savings account that lets you sleep at night. It's the retirement fund quietly compounding in the background. Financial freedom comes from managing the gap between your ego and your income. And, for the love of all things holy, buy your meat from a grocery store.